What's up, everybody? How are you guys feeling out there? Awesome, I hope. Welcome to another video. It is the middle of the night here, about 1:53 a.m., and I couldn't sleep, so that's good news for you. It means you get another video. In this video, I want to talk about one simple life hack, one decision I made years ago that completely revolutionized my life and exploded my productivity. And then I want to give you 7 other powerful tools that you can use to take control of your future. So that's what I'm going to be talking about here in this video in just a few minutes. I'm going to take a couple minutes as usual to share it. You can help me out with that. If you think your audience is interested in exploding their productivity and taking control of their future, then this is the video you want to share with your audience. So I will get started in just a few minutes here. Like I said, I'm just taking a couple minutes to share this video to a few of my groups so that hopefully more people will see it. Like I said, you can help me out with that. Even just getting a like on the video will help show it to more people in your feed. So that is always appreciated. And as always, if you have questions as I go along, drop them in the comments down below. And other than that, I will get started in just a few minutes here. So again, in just a few minutes, I'm going to be sharing the simple life hack that absolutely exploded my productivity, as well as 7 other powerful tools that you can use to take control of your future. Alright, so what am I talking about here? Well, like I said, I'm talking about the one life change I made years ago that has exploded my productivity. And what that is um, listening to audiobooks and motivational content. Specifically, times when I can't be doing anything else, right? Like when I'm in the car, if I'm driving, when I was at work, I used to do this, and at first it's kind of takes some getting used to, right? At least for me, growing up, I always thought motivational content, like how to make money content, self-improvement content, I always thought was super cheesy, right? But I don't remember what turned me on to it. Initially, I think I was looking for a new job, and some of the jobs I was looking at were sales positioned. So I needed to get some information on sales, right? I needed to know how to sell myself in the interview, as well as how to sell products for the job I was looking for. So what I did was I started listening to sales content on, in digital format, audiobooks. And initially I started doing this while I was at work. And I had several different jobs. I think when I first started listening to this content, I was actually a dog walker. So as you can imagine, as someone who's walking dogs for a living, I wanted a better career, I wanted a better job, and the only way to get that was to take action. So I started listening to these books on sales, and eventually that sales content put me onto motivational content. Remember, the content that I used to think was super cheesy, but then as I wanted to improve my life, I started listening to these books. So that's what I want to share with you today is the 7 books, or 7 authors rather. Several of them have more than one book, but I want to share with you 7 authors that really just transformed my mindset and gave me the I don't know what you want to call it, the confidence, the motivation, the goals that I needed to move myself along the path towards where I want to be. So the very first book that I want to share with you, and this is actually free on YouTube, is See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar. Here's the one that I listen to right here Audiobooks, See You at the Top, Zig Ziglar, audiobook full. And Zig Ziglar is one of the classics. He's been around for years. I don't even know when this guy started, long before I was born, probably, but absolutely amazing book for understanding how your subconscious mind affects your actions and what you do in your life. So one of the things that has stuck with me for years from this book, See You at the Top by Zig Ziglar, is when it comes to greetings, right? One of the first things that I took away from this book and that I implemented and actually took action on is in the book. Zig recommends that anytime someone asks you how you're doing, you say something to the effect of outstanding, but I'm improving. And it sounds weird at first. It sounds super weird. Like when someone comes up to you and they say, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Say super good, but I'm getting better. And like I said, it sounds super weird. It sounds funny. It sounds silly, but it does several things, right? First of all, it plants that thought into your subconscious mind because you're telling yourself that you're feeling great and that you're having a good day. So that's the first thing it does. But the second thing it does is it sticks in the mind of whoever you say that to. And I didn't realize this at the time, but that was one of the most valuable things that I could do. And I started out by saying it to people like my boss. You know, you're having a shitty day at work. Your boss comes by, asks you how you're doing. You want to punch him in the face, but you can't do that, right? So I'd say, outstanding, but I'm improving. And he would laugh. And then the next time he would come to check up on me, he would remember that I make him laugh and that I make him smile. And my life got easier. But what it did that was even more important than that is my fiance, Melissa, told me that one of the first things that she remembered made her happy talking to me was when I said that to her one time. She asked me, hey, how you doing? I said, outstanding, but I'm improving. And she didn't tell me for a long time, but several years into our relationship, she brought that up. I might have been listening to Zig Ziglar's audiobook, and she brought that up and said, hey, I'll never forget when you said that to me. And that just confirmed in my mind just how powerful your words can be, both to yourself and for others. And Zig Ziglar does an excellent job of describing that throughout this book, and how by taking control of your mind, you can actually take control of your actions. And I know if you're not used to motivational content and stuff like this, that can sound super cheesy, but I'm telling you, if you get in the habit of listening to content like this, you'll start to pick up on these little things that can really have a powerful effect both on your mind and on your actions, the results that you get. So another thing Zig Ziglar talks about is programming your mind with the way you think about things. So another example from Zig Ziglar's book, Over the Top, that I think is super powerful is, for example, he talks about your alarm clock in the morning, right? That's what we all call it, the alarm clock. But an alarm is generally bad, right? It generally signals there's an emergency. So maybe that has something to do with why when it goes off, we dread the sound. We're like, oh God, and hit snooze. So instead, Zig recommends you think, instead of thinking of that clock as an alarm clock, you think of it as an opportunity clock. Because then as soon as that sucker goes off in the morning, boom, it's the first thing in your mind. Oh, it's time to wake up and seize the opportunity of the day, right? And that's a small, very small change you can make in the way you think. But if you start that change now and you consciously think about it every day, pretty soon you'll be waking up automatically to your opportunity clock and looking to make the best of your day. Another example Zig Ziglar makes on this same topic is when it comes to traffic lights or stoplights, right? That's what we all call it. If someone asks you for directions, you say, hey, go down to the stoplight and then make a left. But really, what these lights do is make it safer for us to travel because we don't have accidents. So really, he says we should call it a go light. Now, this is silly, obviously. These are very cheesy analogies, right? But if you really think about what he's saying and think about your perspective on different things as you go throughout life, if you can shift your mindset to have a positive perspective, then you're going to be in a better mood, you're going to get better results from your actions. So can't recommend this book enough if you are looking to make a positive change in the way you think and the way you act. So the next book I want to talk about is by Brian Tracy. And this is actually another video that is free here on YouTube, and I cannot recommend it enough. Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires by Brian Tracy. And in this presentation, it's, again, he's an old school guy. A lot of the topics of his content are very similar to what I talked about with Zig Ziglar. But what makes Brian Tracy different is he has studied, I don't know how many, I think hundreds, maybe thousands of self-made millionaires, people who started, as a regular person, not born into wealth, and acquired $1 million or more on their own. And what he's done is study the habits of these people and found out what they all have in common and what none of them do. So a lot of the things they have in common are things like I was talking about with Zig Ziglar. They have a positive mindset. They believe that they can achieve the things they want to achieve. They set goals far beyond what they think they're reasonably able to achieve. And by doing that, even if they fall short, they're miles ahead of where they were had they not set such high goals. So again, this is free on YouTube, and it's going to be one of the best investments of 45 minutes that you will make in your life if you are looking to become a self-made millionaire. I'm not there yet, but I could tell you I'm a lot closer than I would have been had I not checked out Brian Tracy's program, and he's got dozens of other books as well. I've listened to a number of them. Eat That Frog is another great audiobook that you can listen to while you're at work or while you're working out, while you're going for a walk, whatever you're doing. If you can have earbuds in your ears, that's a great time to consume this content. So another book I want to talk about, or another author rather, is Grant Cardone. Specifically, 2 of his books. This one, Sell or Be Sold, How to Get Your Way in Business and in Life, as well as this book here, Be Obsessed or Be Average. These are very similar books, but I got tremendous value out of both of them. I know this guy gets a lot of hate on social media for being boisterous and over the top, and some even go as far as to call him cocky and belligerent. But if you read his books, this guy knows sales as well as anybody else on this planet, if you ask me. And what I really took away from both of his books, Be Obsessed or Be Average, or Sell or Be Sold, is one of his main points is that every interaction you have in life, every conversation you have, every time you encounter another person, you're essentially selling something at all times, right? Even if you're not selling a product, you're selling your idea, you're selling your point of view, right? You want to get your way in life. So by focusing on that, by being cognizant of every conversation you have and taking control to the best of your abilities to get the outcome you want, well, the more you do that, the more you're actually going to get the outcome you want. And so what Grant stresses is that obsession is good, right? All of your life, people are telling you, obsession is bad. Don't be obsessed with that. You're obsessed with this. But what Grant says is that obsession is the one true thing that led to his success. No matter how many people told him, you can't do that, your dreams are too big, you'll never be rich, whatever it is, Grant says that by putting all those doubts aside and believing in himself and taking massive action, that is what led him to the success he has. And again, as he goes through this stuff, telling you about how every conversation is essentially you want to be selling yourself and your ideas, he has very good strategy on how to do it. He started out as at a car dealership selling cars, eventually became the manager and then regional manager, and then started sales trainings on how to train other car dealerships to sell more cars. And then as he went from there, he started doing coaching and a bunch of other stuff, and obviously he's exploded. I think he's worth $1 billion now, or close to it. He's got his own private jet. So again, another person who has been there and done it and has tons of content that can help you get to the same place if that's what you want to do, is make money and make your life better. So to continue with these books that have no doubt changed my life and had a positive impact for the better, the next author I want to talk about is none other than the man himself, Russell Brunson. If you're watching my content, I'm guessing you already know who this guy is. But if you don't, he is one of the legends of modern internet marketing. And his 3 books, the Secrets trilogy, I thought were absolutely amazing. It looks like he's even adding maybe a 4th book into the trilogy. I don't know. I've only read 3 of them. But I've read .com Secrets, Expert Secrets, and Traffic Secrets, all in audiobook format. And these books will really help you understand how sales works on the internet, right? No matter what you're selling, whether you're selling services or whether you're selling physical products or digital products, courses, software, SaaS, whatever it is, if it's been sold online before, odds are Russell has dealt with it or worked with someone who has. And Russell's whole message is about telling your story and how to tell your story in a way that captures people's attention, and then how to use the internet and technology and automation to essentially clone yourself and your message so that it is your digital content is out there working for you while you are living your best life, essentially. And so each one of these books covers a different aspect. .com Secrets kind of introduces you to internet selling and what's going on in the online world. Expert Secrets is going to show you exactly how to craft an offer, how to take whatever it is you sell, the thing or the product, and turn it into something irresistible that everybody has to have using a web page or a funnel. So then Traffic Secrets builds on top of Expert Secrets. So the first book, you're learning what's going on with e-commerce, why and how people are buying things online. Expert Secrets, you're learning how to craft your offer and how to sell your products. Traffic Secrets explains how to actually get people caring about your product and clicking on it, and just growing your audience even further so that people hear your story and buy your product. So again, another book or set of books that I just cannot recommend enough if you are looking to make money online. So the next book I want to talk about here is Crushing It by Gary Vee. Again, if you're watching my content, I'm guessing you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, but if you don't, go check him out. His book Crushing It is an amazing story of, or a collection of stories of people who have made it from nothing on the internet doing exactly what they want, right? So some of the other books, like Grant Cardone's books, are very follow a very formal sales process, right? Like B2B business world type of sales. Whereas Gary Vaynerchuk's book here talks about how literally everyone from like 15-year-old kids playing with toys to grandmothers knitting sweaters and everything in between, people selling software, you name it. Gary talks about not only how he found success working in his father's wine store. He took it, I think, from something like $3 million a year to $60 million a year, all while, not living in the lap of luxury while he was doing that. And then he moved on, started his own business, and now, needless to say, he has one of the biggest marketing and media companies in the world. So really down-to-earth guy too. His book is very easy to follow and very engaging, and at least for me, I thought it painted a clear picture of how literally anybody can make it work following their passion as long as they commit to creating content. And that's one of Gary's biggest things that he talks about in this book, is the value of content. Specifically, when you distribute it at scale, you can create content that helps people, and then when you distribute it at scale, you can help an awful lot of people with your content. And then once you've helped a ton of people, well, people are going to want to help you, and they're going to share your message, they're going to buy your products and support you any way they can. So another book that I highly recommend checking out. So the next book on my list here is $100 Million Offers, How to Make Offers So Good People Feel Stupid Saying No, by Alex Hormozy. And I just recently heard of this guy, maybe, I don't know, a handful of months ago, 6 months ago or so. I heard about him, and when I saw his book, I thought, that's ridiculous, $100 million offers. And not to mention the guy's like 30, so I'm like, what is this 30-year-old guy? And, no offense, I'm a couple years older than 30 myself, but I was just looking at this like, what does this guy know about $100 million offers? But I did a quick check on his background, and he does in fact know what he's talking about. So I checked out his book. It's 99 cents here on Amazon, which is an absolute steal in my opinion, because this book was absolutely free of fluff and just straight down to business, how to sell your stuff. And regardless of what you sell, Alex, much like Russell Brunson in his books, also talks about how to tell your story in a way that's going to get people's attention, and then how to turn your story into an offer that people feel stupid saying no to. And it's the same type of thing that Russell Brunson teaches, just with a different spin on it, essentially. But it's all about how to create an offer versus sell a product, right? A product is a thing, it's boring, right? But an offer is, again, something that someone is going to feel stupid saying no to. And Alex obviously words this stuff much better than I do, so go check out his book if you want to know how to convince people to buy things and how to charge more money for your products. And the last book that I want to show you here is the No BS Direct Marketing Guide. The ultimate no holds barred, kick butt, take no prisoners direct marketing for non-direct marketing businesses. It's quite a long title, but this is by Dan Kennedy, and he is one of the OGs in the digital marketing space. So if you're new to all of this, direct marketing means essentially putting an offer in front of somebody and getting them to take action immediately, right? So instead of playing the follow-up game and call back and forth and email, what direct marketing is whether it's an email or a website or a social media post, direct marketing has the goal of getting somebody to see your ad and immediately take action and buy your product. So Dan Kennedy essentially covers the history of direct marketing, taking it all the way back to mail order catalogs, and shows you essentially how even now in the modern age of internet marketing and social media, things haven't changed very much as far as how content and how offers are formulated. And he goes into how to create effective copy, how to, again, get inside people's emotions rather than focus on logic, and the features of your product, how to focus on the benefits and the results people get from your product, and how to position your product in such a way that people want to buy it right away. So you can see how these books all work together, right? So how to create $100 million offers, how to raise your prices, how to create offers that by telling a story, how to always focus on selling, and how to convince people to pay you what you're worth with this book and this author. Then these two are going to show you how to get your mind in the right place to even think about making money in the first place. And then, just all of these books I highly recommend. And like I said, one of the life hacks that completely changed things for me in my life, and I started doing this about 7 years ago, I think, is listening to audiobooks as frequently as you can. And one of the best times, in my opinion, to listen to this type of content is first thing in the morning. So right now I'm up in the middle of the night. Like I said, I couldn't sleep, and I just felt a calling to come give this information to you guys, because again, this is something I've been doing for 5 or even 7 years now, listening to audiobooks when I'm working out, which I don't do much of these days, but when I'm in the car, when first thing when I wake up in the morning, pretty much, I get my coffee, I check my phone, and I put on one of these books or a similar book that is going to motivate me and get me thinking about what I want to do with that day, which is create content, help people, and make money. And by thinking about that first thing in the morning, that's a great way to not only get your head in the right space, but motivate you to take the actions you're going to need to take throughout the day. So anyways, I hope this helps. I hope that you implement this and actually start listening to these books whenever you can, really, but especially, like I said, when you're doing other things, because what you're doing is just doubling the productivity of your time, right? Say you're washing dishes. Well, now you're washing dishes and listening to a motivational book, so you're getting your dishes clean and you're getting your mind cleaned at the same time, right? And it's the same thing if you're driving. If you hate sitting in traffic, if every day you just dread your commute, and that's how it was for me when I was working at UPS. Not only was I driving a truck all day for my job, but I had to sit in traffic to go there and to go home at the end of the day, and it drove me absolutely crazy until I remembered, hey, I should listen to audiobooks. And then suddenly I started looking forward to my commute because I knew I'd be learning. And if I hit traffic and it made me late to work or it made me late getting home, I was actually excited about it because it meant I got a couple extra minutes of education, of knowledge, of self-improvement. So suddenly that commute turned from something I was dreading to something I was looking forward to. And the same thing happened with, like I said, with workouts and with just doing chores around the house. Listening to content like this is a great way to not only get smarter, but enjoy the things that you don't like doing because you give yourself a reason to look forward to it. So I hope this helps. I hope you check these books out, and other than that, I'll catch you guys on the next video.